Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther Prara of Estibella Designs. If this is the first time you are stopping by our channel, you are welcome to Estibella Design. So in today's video, we are going to be learning how to cut and sew a very beautiful wrap dress with a stylish yoke. So for us to do that, we are going to be needing our basic bodice block and our skirt block. I'm going to bring the skirt block later on. So in this channel, we usually start with our basic block. That is the foundation to every style that we make on this channel. So I have a very detailed tutorial on how I drafted all this. I'll drop the link in the description box, and I'll also drop the link to the basic skirt tutorial too. So we're going to alter this into an off-shoulder bustier with yoke. We're going to alter it. So if that sounds like what you would love to learn, then let's jump into it. So the first thing I will do is to contour my overbust. So to contour my overbust, first I will get the style line that I want on my overbust. I'll get the style line that I want on my yoke. That's the first thing I'll do. I'll get the style line. So you can use a pencil first. Okay, so I'm okay with this style line. So let me highlight it with my marker pen. Okay, so this is going to be my yoke, and this is going to be my overbust. So on this line now, on my shoulder line, I'm going to share it into two. I'm going to get whatever I have here and share it into two to get the midpoint. So this is the midpoint. So on this midpoint, I'm going to connect a line to my bust point. Okay, so the next thing I will do is to contour my overbust. So on this line, I'm going to contour it. I'm going to remove 0.75 on each side. So I'll connect it back to the bust point. Good. So after doing this, the next thing I want to do is to throw this line. Throw it means to make it equal, because by the time we sew, if we just cut it out like this, by the time we sew, it might not match up. So what you do is to try and close it. Try and close this dart that we just did. Just try and close it. Just try to close it. See, I've closed it. If you look very clearly, you will see that they are not matching again. See where this line is and see where this line is. So if you go ahead to cut it, you will see that you will have a shortage of about ½ inch. So whenever you contour your overbust like this, make sure that you through it. Make sure that you blend it. So by the time I open it, this is going to be the new line. So instead of cutting on this line, I will cut on this line. You see it, so that they can match up. So that is done now. We have blended it. So the next thing I want to do now is to contour my underbust. I've been able to contour my overbust. The next thing I'll do is to contour my underbust. So to contour my underbust, I will get the circumference of my underbust. This is my underbust line. So I'm going to put the circumference of my underbust here. The circumference of my underbust is 29 inches. So I'm going to mark 29 inches here. And I'm going to get what is remaining, what I have remaining here. I have 2 inches remaining here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put ½ inch on this side, on the side front. Then I'm going to put remaining 1.5 inch on the side front. I'll put ½ inch on the front panel, on the center front panel, and I'll put 1.5 inch on the side panel. So let's do that. So I'm going to mark ½ inch. Note where I'm marking the ½ inch from. It's not from the center, that leg. It's from the side, this side. That's where I'm going to put my ½ inch. So I'm going to put ½ inch here. ½ inch here. Then I'm going to put the remaining 1.5 inch here. Then I'll bring my curve ruler. Then I'll connect it to the bust point. Good. And I'll connect this one too. When you're connecting it, don't try to make sure that it's touching this bust point. Just let it touch this line, this over bust line. Just let it touch it, then touch here. That's all you need, so that you don't have a sharp point. So I'm going to try and get my point now. Okay, so I've gotten it. So I'll just draw the line. Good. So you see it, that's a nice curve there. So the next thing I want to do is to connect it back to the dart leg on the waistline. So I'll connect it back. And when you're connecting this, if you see that it's giving you a sharp line, don't connect directly here. Just give a gap. Just give like half inch. Just come out by half inch here, so that you don't get an A-line kind of thing there. So just come out by half inch, then connect back. So this half inch that you came out back, you have to replace it. If not, you are going to have shortage. So I'm going to come back here. I'll add back that half inch. Then I'll connect back to my bust. You see, it's as simple as this. We are done. We are pretty done. But what we need to do, we need to tighten our yoke, because we have tightened here. If we just bring the yoke back and replace it, it will not work. It will not work like so. So let's tighten. We'll tighten our over bust, then we'll add to the armhole. So let's tighten. This is how you tighten. Another thing you can do, if you don't want to tighten your over bust, if you don't want to tighten your yoke, another thing you can do is to add back half of what you removed here. So let's use that. Let's use that. We open this our over bust with 0.75 on each part. So we are going to take half of it, which is 0.75. We are going to add it back here. We are going to add it back 0.75. You see it? So we are going to add it back. That means we are going to extend this like this. Then we'll connect it back to our armhole. So that will be our new armhole. So you see, so that we are not going to have shortage when we are joining. So you see, so this is going to be our new armhole. So I will not need to tighten our yoke anymore. I'll just leave our yoke like so. So we are done with the front. This is center front, and this is center back. So we are done with the front. Let's go straight to the back. The back is very easy. All we need to do, we want our yoke to match. So where we started our yoke at the front, let's see. I started it 1.5 above the chest line. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to mark here too, so that our yoke will match when we are joining. So what I'll do next is to connect from this place. It depends on the style line you want. So this is the style line I want. I want a V-neck at the back. So I'm going to just connect like this. You see it? Then I'll alter the width of my neckline. I want my neckline to be 4 inches. The width, I want it to be 4 inches. So I'm going to alter it from here, 4 inches. Then the depth, I want the depth to be 4 inches too. So I want to do 4 inches by 4 inches. So I'll connect for the front. First, I'm going to tighten this part. I'm going to come down here by ½ inch to avoid any gaping there. So I'm going to connect it like this. Then I can connect my neckline. You see it? So the width of the back too, I'm going to 4 inches. Then the style line I want at the back, I want a V-neck, so I'm going to connect from that 4 inches. I'm just going to connect it like this. So this is going to be my yoke. So what I can do here, I'll do a little tightening here. I'll raise this my dart. I'll just raise it up to touch this line, to touch the line of my yoke. I'm just going to raise it up. Then I'm going to tighten by 1/4 of an inch on both sides. 1/4 inch on both sides, quarter. Then I'll take it back to that leg. I'll just connect it back to that leg. So you see it. So we are done with the back. It's as simple as that. So this is our yoke. This is the yoke for the front. So I still want to make an alteration on this front yoke. So let's just cut out first. So let's cut out. Remember, we have not closed our bust dart. So let's just close it first. Now I'll go ahead to close my bust dart like this. Then I'll tape it down. Then I'll blend the side back. I'll blend it back to the bust. Then I'll just cut out. I'll cut out the front pattern, the yoke. I'll cut it like this. Is our front pattern now. So it's going to be like this. And our yoke is going to come like this. So you can see how nice it's looking. So this is our front. This is our front pattern. Is done. So let's cut for the back. But I'm still going to alter this yoke. So let's cut for the back. We didn't tighten the back here. We didn't tighten the neckline. Let's tighten it. Come down by half and connect it back to the shoulder. All these little alterations, they are just to give perfect fit. We do them so that there will be no gaping anywhere, so that you can have a perfect fit on your outfit. That's why we do all these little things that we do. So this is my yoke for the back. So let's cut out the bodice. So I'm going to cut out that. So we have cut out everything. So let's label so that we don't mix them up. This is my center back. This is my side back. This is my yoke for the back. And this is my front. This center front. This side front. And this is the yoke. Okay guys, let's go to the yoke part. Let's do a little alteration on this yoke part. So what I'll do, I'll come to this shoulder line. I'll come to this shoulder line and I'll mark from the armhole. I'll mark 1.5 from the armhole. From the armhole here, I'll mark 1.5 in, and from the armhole here too, I'll mark 3 inches. Please ignore this line that we're supposed to use to do our overbust tightening. Just ignore it, please. So from the armhole here, I'm going to mark 3 inches. Then I'll use a curve. I'll make a curve here. Okay, so you see that curve. Then I'll come here again and I'll mark 1 inch. Or let's do 0.75. I don't want the space in between to be very wide. So then I'll just connect back again. I'll connect back to the 3 inches that I marked here. So that's going to be this little opening that is going to be there. So guys, you see, so this space will be going out now. We'll cut it out. You see it. So let's cut it out. So let's label it. This is center front. This is side front. So we're going to be having two 2 yokes now. So let's cut out. So we are just going to be having one little space at the side there. So this is our yoke. This is our new yoke now. So we are just going to be having a little tiny space here. If you don't want this, you can use your yoke like that. So our pattern set is ready. See our yoke that we just altered now. So this is how we are going to transfer to fabric. So let's move to the skirt part. Okay guys, so here is the skirt pattern. I already drafted it off camera. Like I said, I have a detailed tutorial on the channel on how to draft a basic skirt. You can go check it out. I'll drop the link in the description box. So I've drafted it and I've cut it out. But please note, I cut the front pattern. This is the front pattern. I cut it on fold. You see it? I have a full skirt pattern. You can see it. The reason why we cut it like this is for us to get our wrapper, the wrapper illusion. We'll get it out of this. But first, I'll just cut this first for my skirts. I'll cut it folded like this for my front skirts. I'll cut it like this, then cut the back too on my fabric just like this. It is when we want to alter it to the illusion wrapper. That is when we will we'll open it up. I'll show you. Then this is my fabric. I'll be using this Ankara for the skirt pattern and the bodice. Then I'll use this chantilly lace for the yoke and the sleeve. So let's start transferring to fabric. Let me quickly transfer to fabric. Then I will show you how to alter this front skirt into your wrapper. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut it out. You see it. I also cut the lining piece. So this is the lining piece, and I cut hairstay for both the lining and the fabric. And I also cut the breast pad. I'm going to be using the wadding to reinforce my bust area. So this is it. I'm going to press everything. This is the back. I cut lining and hairstay for everything, and this is the yoke. This is the yoke part. I used chantilly lace for the yoke. This is for the back and this is for the front. So you see it. So I'm going to press all this now, then we'll start sewing. Okay guys, so I've pressed it. I've pressed my hairstay on it. So this is the front. I'm going to go to my machine and sew this to this and this to this. So I didn't put my wadding on my fashion fabric. I put it on my lining piece. So I'll sew for the front. This is the front. Then for the back too, this is the center back. I'm going to sew this to this, then this to this. So I'll just sew all these pieces together like this. Then I'll sew for the exactly what I did there. I'll do it for the lining piece too. I've sewn the front piece together. You see it. You can see that my wadding is on my lining. My wadding is on my lining. This is the fashion fabric. So I did the same thing for the back too. This is the back and this is the lining piece. So I want to show you something on the yoke. Let's move to the yoke. So the yoke part, I cut 2 nets, skin tone nets. This is my skin tone net. That's what I'm going to use to turn the neckline of the yoke. And you know the front yoke is of 2. There are 2. So I'm going to turn this one with my skin tone net. I'll turn here, then I'll turn here. Look at the places I'm going to turn. For this one, I'm going to turn the neckline, and I'm going to turn this part. I won't turn this part. I'll just flip it over and hold it. But I'm going to turn here with the skin tone net, here and here. Then this one I'm going to turn just here. This is the only place I'm going to turn. I'm not going to turn the armhole. This is the armhole. I will not turn the armhole. So I'm turning for this. I'm turning here and here. Then for this I'm turning just here. It's the skin tone net. I hope you understand. So this one, this is the back. So I'm going to turn just here with the ½ inch that we left. So I'm going to turn it. So let me turn everything. Then we'll attach it to the bodice. Have turned the neckline of the yoke. You can see it. So we are going to attach it now. We'll attach it to the bodice. This is the bodice. So I'm just going to place it like so. I'll place it like this. And I'll sew. So when I get here, I'll place this one like this. And I'll continue sewing. You see it. That's how I'll do it. Then I'll come to this side and I'll sew like this too. I'll sew like this. Then I'll bring this one attach it like this too. So I'll go and join it. After joining it, then I'll use the lining. I'll use my lining piece. This is my lining piece. So after attaching this one like that, please don't forget, when this one gets to the end here, you continue with this one. You see it? That's how you continue with it. After that, then you put your lining over it like this. Then you use your lining to turn it. I hope you understand. So that's how you are going to do it. So you do the same thing for the back too. So this is the back. This is the back piece. So you put your lining. You put your yoke. You see it? You leave out your 1 inch allowance for zipper. You leave out your 1 inch allowance for zipper. Then you attach your yoke to it. So you put it like this. Then you put your lining over it. You put your lining over it. Okay. So you put your lining over it like this. Then you sew. You sew here. You sew the neckline. So you do the same thing for this one too. Okay guys, so I've attached the yoke to our bodies. This is the front. You can see how it's looking. Don't worry about this part that is opening. The back yoke, we hold it together. We hold it like this and it will become one. Don't worry. This is the stylish neckline that we drafted. So you can see how our bustier is sitting pretty. You can see it. So this is the front. So this is the back too. You can see this, the back. This is the V neckline for the back that we did. So you see it. So let's just keep, for now, let's keep this aside. Let's keep it aside and work on the lower part, on the cut lining for it. Then I'll turn it, just turn it the way you usually turn your skirt. So I'll turn it, then I'll attach it to the upper body. So this is the back. I'll cut lining for it. So let's work on the front. It's the front that has the wrapper illusion. So this is the first, you know, you cut the first basic skirt. This is the first one, the one that will be the main skirt. This is it. I've cut it already. So let me keep it aside. Then let's work. I'll also cut lining for it, then turn it. So let's work on the wrapper. So what you do, this is it. You open it. Then you do the style line that you want. You do the style line that you want. You assume that you are wearing the skirt already. So this is the front and this is the left. This is the left hand side of the skirt. And you know, any illusion you are doing must go to the left hand side. Any style line you are doing must go to the left hand side. So this is where it's going to have, this part like this is going to have the curve, because this is where we want the style line to be. So now we'll mark. So what I want to do, I want the style line to come 2 inches in from here. Let's start from the hip line, 2 inches. Just mark 2 inches from the hip line. This is the hip line. So mark 2 inches from the hip line. Mark 2 inches on the nail line. Then just make a curve. Let's use a pencil. Make a curve. Whatever design you want. Whatever design you want. If you want it, so it's going to come from the waist. You know, on the waistline is going to be exactly the same thing. On the waistline is going to be exactly the same thing. So you start curving to enter these 2 inches that we marked. Then on the nail line, then you can just be making the curve. Whatever design you want. You see it. You see it. So this is the design I want for mine. Let me highlight it with my marker pen. I hope you can see it. I hope you can see the curve. So you see, I'm just going to cut it out now. This is going to be my wrapper. while this part will go off. I just thought of adding a frill, like a gather stuff here, instead of just leaving it plain like this. So for us to do this, I'm going to reduce the length to the length of the frill that I want to add. If the length of the frill I want to add is 5 inches, so I'm going to mark 5 inches from below the skirt, as in the skirt. I'm going to minus 5 inches from the skirt length. The reason why we are taking out this 5 inches is because when we are sewing the frill will come down and add to the length and complete this length. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but okay, let me curve this place. You see it? So now it's going to go like this. You see it? It's going to go like this. So by the time we add the frill, which is 5 inches, it's going to complete the length here. I don't know if you understand. Instead of cutting it like this now, I won't cut it like this because I'm going to add a frill to it, which is 5 inches. So by the time I add it, if I cut on this line, by the time I add it, it's going to extend and complete this length that we are going to cut out. I hope you understand that. So let's cut out now. We're not going to cut out here. We are going to cut out from this part. So let's cut out. So this is our wrapper skirt. Let me place it on the fabric so that you understand what we are saying. Okay, so this is front skirt. So well, by the time we place it, this is how it's going to look like. You see it? This is how it's going to look like. Then I'm going to add the frill. So the frill is going to complete this length. I hope you understand. By the time we add the frill, it's going to complete this length. You see it? So that's what we are going to do now. So let's transfer this. I'm going to transfer this to fabric. I'm still using the Ankara, so I'll transfer this to fabric. Then I'll cut the lining for it too. This one too we have lining. I'll cut the lining for it. Then I'll hold the darts. Or I'll just close the darts for the wrapper. I'll close the darts, but I'll hold the darts for my actual fabric for the skirt. I'll hold the dart for it. Then I'll hold the dart for the back too. Then we'll join them together. So let's go. I'll transfer it to fabric. This is it. So the next thing I want to do is to take the measurement from this curve, the place that we made the curve. We are going to take the measurement. You see it? We take the measurement round like this. This 49 inches. So whatever you have, just multiply it by 2 or by 3 depending on your fabric. So when you multiply it, then that will be the length of what you cut, and the width will be that 5 inches plus seam allowance. You can add 1 inch seam allowance. That will make it 6 inches. So that's what you will use to gather. That's what you will gather. I've done it already, so let me bring it so you see. Okay, so this is mine. I've done it already, so I'm going to attach it here now like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to attach it here. So it's going to be like this. So you see it, this is how it's going to be. Then I'll use my lining to turn it. So that means I'll put it like this. Then I'll put my lining over it. I'll put it like this. Then I'll put my lining over it like this. Then I'll turn it. I'll turn it round so that by the time I turn it out, this will be safely tucked into it. I hope you understand. So let me go and sew it. Then we'll attach it to our skirt. This is our basic skirt. I've already lined it. I've put the lining over it. I did it for the front and the back. So let me finish with this wrapper part. Then when you are sewing this part, you are going to put a belt. Okay, when you are sewing this wrapper part, we are going to put a belt here. A belt of maybe 2.5 inches. I've not cut it, but I'll cut it, then I'll put the belt here. I'll put the belt, then put this over, so that by the time we turn it out, the belt will be there. This one too will be there. You can put it there, then sew it. This is it. You can see I've put in the belt and I've put in my frill. So you see it, everything is neatly sewn inside. You can see it is neatly sewn inside. And look at the belt too. So what we'll do now, we'll place this on the main skirt. So I'll bring the main skirt. So this is the main front skirt. So I'll attach this. I'll just hold them together by the waist. I'll leave half inch. You know, I'm still going to sew this. I'll sew this main one to the upper bodice. So I'll leave half inch here. I'll just leave half inch. Then I'll attach this one here. I'll leave half inch. Then attach this here. You see it? I'll attach it so that they can become one. So that they can become one piece. I hope you understand. I will not attach it here. Don't hold it by the waist. I'll just attach it by the side here. Only by the side. I'll hold them together only by the side. On this side. Don't hold them here. You know, this one is a wrapper. This one is supposed to be going like this. So just hold them here. Leave half inch upward and hold them together here. And leave it. Then we'll now attach this. I'll bring the upper bodice. So I'm going to attach this one to this. I'll attach this to this. Then I'll attach the back to the lower bodice, to the skirt part. So let me attach them. Then we'll come back to join the shoulders. So I've attached the upper bodice. I've attached the upper bodice to the skirt part. So you see it. This is the front. Look at the wrapper. So this is the back. I've also attached the upper bodice to the skirt part. So I'm going to go ahead and fix my zipper now. I'll fix my zipper, then I will attach it. I'll attach the front and the back on the shoulder. I'll attach them by the shoulder, then we'll shape it. We are almost done with this tutorial. We'll shape it, then fix our sleeve, and that's all. I'll fix the zipper. You can see. So now we want to join the shoulder. So I want to quickly show you how to join the shoulders. You know, the front yoke is like this. So how you join the shoulder, you bring this first part, you place it at the tip of the back yoke. You see it? Place it like this. Then you bring the second part. This second part, you place it at the end here. You see it? You place it at the end here. So there will be a space in between. That's the space that we cut out on the pattern. I hope you understand. Place this first one at the edge here. Then place the second one at the end here. Then use your two nets that we use to turn the net, that we use to turn the yoke. You now take it, you take it out like this, you place it like this, then you sew it. I hope you understand. You know, the yoke is serving, this two net is serving as the lining for the yoke. This two net is serving as the lining for the yoke, back yoke. Even for the front yoke, I did it for it too. So I said put like this, put it like this, put this one like this, then bring the back lining, which is the two net, bring it out the way we used to join our shoulder now, just the way we used to join, then turn it, then sew it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do for both shoulder now. Then I'll fix in my measurement. I'll put in my measurement after joining the shoulder. You just put in your measurement, your bust, your waist, your hip. Okay guys, so this is the final outcome of our dress. I've fixed my sleeve. Please, if you found value in this video, kindly click on the subscribe button. If you haven't, click on the like button, drop a comment, and please share this video. Thank you so much for always watching my videos. I really appreciate you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.